Hey guys, it's Becky with the good hair, and it has been a really long time since I've filmed a video. I honestly can't even remember the last time I filmed, and I've been wanting to for a really long time, but it's just been really crazy. So I've taken a break from it for a while, but I'm back finally. And I wanted to come to you while I still had a little bit of sunlight, and I had makeup on from work earlier, so I just wanted to come and do a little story time rant video. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know about this already because I tweeted about it the day it happened, and I was super heated and really mad. So I wanted to make a video about it. I'm sure I'll blog about it as well because it was something that just made me really irritated, and I wanted to explain it a little better on camera and explain my thoughts on it too, and just from a feminism standpoint, I guess. So here's the story. I was minding my own business and I was on my break from work and I wanted to just be outside, get some fresh air, and there's this particular area of my town that I really love, and it's right by where I work, and I love it. It's one of my favorite places in town. And so I just walked the couple blocks over to this area, and I was just sitting on a bench minding my own business, and there are these people who kind of like to sit in that area all day long, and they get a little bit loud and rowdy and they just sit there. And this is the second time that I've been whistled at by one of these people who sit in this area. So I get up from the bench to walk back to work after my break, and I was also having a bad day and I was just not in the mood for this type of behavior from a stranger. Not that I ever would be in a good mood when somebody would do this to me, but I was already in a bad mood. So I get up from the bench and I go to walk back to work, and I hear one of these people whistle at me. And the moment I heard it, I was like, you know what? Not today. I am not dealing with this today. So I turn around and I see this guy. He wasn't old. I know some people think, oh, it's a generational thing. This dude was not that old. He was maybe, I'd venture to say, late 20s, early 30s. He wasn't that old. So you can't blame it on his generation. It has nothing to do with age. He was looking me up and down, just kind of smirking at me, you know, that creepy look, just staring me up and down, not looking me in the face. So I turn around after he whistles at me and I see him staring me up and down. And I told him, I said, do not harass women. Stop it. And I almost went to turn back around to walk away. And he said, it's a compliment. God. And I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. So I said, it's not a compliment. It's harassment. You need to stop doing that. You need to stop harassing women. Listen to women when they tell you to stop. And I turn around and walk away, and as I'm walking away, I hear him say, you fucking bitch. And then all his friends are cheering because they were, you know, spectators to this whole event. And I just was like, you know what? Fuck you. And I just, flipped him off. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I'm not going to just ignore it. I just was not having a good day. And I was like, you know what? Today is not the day for me to be harassed when I just stepped outside to have a few minutes to just mind my own business and just be a human outside and not be harassed by some random creepy human being. I don't need that today. I don't need that any day. No woman needs that any day. Any human being or alien, whatever you are, anyone watching this video who thinks that whistling at somebody is a compliment, it's not. It's not a compliment. It never was a compliment. I've heard some people say, oh, well, back in my day it was a compliment. No, it wasn't. It was not a compliment. Back in the 1950s, women didn't have a choice. They didn't like it back then. We don't like it now. So it's not a compliment. That's like if you say, you know what, back in my day, we just had arranged marriages. Women weren't complaining about it back then. It's because they didn't have a choice. Back then, women didn't have a right to vote, and I didn't hear them complaining until they started protesting for the right to vote. So I don't want to hear any of this, oh, back in my day. Back in your day, it wasn't cool. It's not cool now, okay? And then also, for anybody trying to say, oh, you know what, just don't let it get to you. Just ignore it and they'll go away. Let me tell you a story about when I ignored it, okay? And it wasn't a guy who was whistling at me. It was a guy who was trying to talk to me. So my mom and my sisters and I went into Manhattan for the day when I was living in New Jersey. So we took the train to Penn Station. If you've ever been there, you know it's a madhouse. It's a train station. It's freaking crazy. Middle of Midtown. It's insanity, right? So we're walking up the stairs, and then there was this guy, well, I didn't know who it was, but somebody behind me was like bashing into me repeatedly. And I was like, what are they doing? And at first I thought it was an accident, but by the third or fourth time, I was like, okay, this person is being a dick, or, you know, just this person's being mean and is bashing into me on purpose for no reason. I can't move any faster. It's crazy in here. So we get up to the first flight of stairs, after that flight of stairs, and then this guy tries to talk to me and was like, oh, where are you guys trying to go? And I turn around and, you know, completely ignored him, and he was not having that. He was not having that. So he freaked out, and he was also following us, and he'd been trying to trip me up the stairs. My sister had told me that he'd been trying to trip me up the flight of stairs. So he was in our faces and he was telling me, you're an ugly bitch, ugly bitch. He was absolutely insane, screaming at me, would not leave us alone. And we had to just, you know, keep going and exit the building, get out of the train station for him to leave us alone. It was absolutely insane. So try me with that just ignore them line. Try me. If you're keeping score, if you call a guy out, he'll call you a bitch. If you ignore the guy, he'll call you a bitch. No matter what you do, he'll call you a bitch unless you tell him, oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you for objectifying me and sexualizing me. Oh, that's so sweet of you. And this is just a prime example of why we need feminism. Catcalling is not cool. Stop it. If you whistle at women, if you call a woman a bitch for ignoring you, if you yell out your window at women, which I've had done to me before several times, if you stop your car while a woman's going on a walk and ask her where she's going, which I've had done to me, you are the problem. You are part of the problem. And I don't want to hear any of the, oh, we have equal rights. Oh, women are treated equally. Stop complaining. If you're a dude and you're watching this and you think that women are treated equally and that women are just complaining and being over dramatic, I'd love to hear your comments down below of your stories of you being whistled at, you being tripped up the stairs, you being called an ugly bitch or an ugly asshole for ignoring a woman or a man. If you're gay, I'd love to hear your stories down below. I'd love to hear your stories of women stopping their cars, asking you where you're going and you feeling threatened. I'd love to hear your stories. If you think that, oh, men experience this too, leave it down below. Leave it down below. Tell me your stories of feeling unsafe at night and worrying about getting raped. Leave it down below. Tell me all about it. I'd love to hear about how men deal with catcalling and harassment just as much as women do. That was my cat. She apparently gets very jealous that I'm talking to a camera and really doesn't like that I'm not paying attention to her. So, thanks, Lily, thanks. I think it's funny how some men like to minimize women's experiences and pretend that we're just being dramatic. We're just being silly. If we just ignored it, they wouldn't bother us. Oh, trust me, I've ignored it. I've called it out. Nothing works. Nothing works. You ignore them, you're a bitch. You call them out, you're a bitch. All they want is to be able to look you up and down, objectify the hell out of you, and you just accept it and just, curtsy. I love the idea also where they say, oh, well, you were just asking for attention. Why did you wear a dress if you didn't want the attention? Because I wanted to wear a dress that day. I wasn't wearing any makeup. I just threw a dress on because it was comfortable. It was hot that day. And it also fit with the dress code of where I work. So just because I'm wearing a dress does not mean I'm asking for attention. Just because I'm wearing shorts doesn't mean I'm asking for attention. Just because I'm wearing makeup doesn't mean I'm asking for attention. Just because I'm wearing a tank top doesn't mean I'm asking for attention. Just because I'm going on a walk or a run and some guy yells out his window at me, I wasn't looking for attention then either. I had my headphones on, I was on a walk, I was wearing some ratty tank top and shorts in like 80-degree weather. I still got yelled at out the window. So it doesn't matter. Don't shame women and don't victim blame women for what they're wearing, what they look like, what they're acting like, their response. None of that is relevant. None of that is relevant. You want to know what is relevant? The guy who was catcalling or harassing the woman. Shame them. Shame them. Your only response should be, dudes, stop it. Stop it. So if I'm not being clear, men and women, anybody watching this, don't whistle at women. Don't whistle at anybody. Don't catcall anybody. Don't stop your car and ask where somebody's going. Don't yell out your window at people. If you see someone who looks attractive to you, leave them alone. But if you need to talk to them or want to talk to them, want to engage, try this. Hey, how are you? Try that. Basically, the moral of this story is to not harass anybody. And I hope I made that clear. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I will also leave links down below to my Instagram, Twitter, and my blog as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.